What's up guys, it's Justin, and today I wanted to take a quick moment and give you some tips and tricks if you're trying to drive for Uber, because if you watched my video about driving for Uber, you'll know that over the course of almost 3 hours, I made exactly $0. But that really sent me into a spiral. I did a ton of research after that, and that helped me figure out where I went wrong and what I can do differently next time so that when I do start driving again, I'll get lots and lots of work, which is obviously the goal when you're doing this. So if you haven't already seen that video, go check it out. But if you have, here you go. Here are my 6 tips and tricks for being the most efficient Uber driver. Number 1, and this is probably most important, I think this is where I really messed up, know where to drive. So you have to know where people are going to be that they're going to be needing rides. That might not be in a small town. Unlike when you're doing food delivery, unlike if you're doing DoorDash or Uber Eats, you can do that pretty much anywhere, because even in small towns, people need food delivered all the time. Trust me, I've gone into small towns and delivered food for hours and hours and gotten delivery after delivery, but with driving actual people around, that might not be the case. So you're gonna need to know where people need to get rides, and most commonly that's gonna be downtown in big cities, so people that are out at the bars, people that are coming back from work, those kinds of places, and then airports. Airports are a great place to target because a lot of people, when they land, they don't want to deal with buses, they don't want to get a taxi, so they'll take an Uber to wherever they're staying on their trip, and you can take advantage of that and be the person there to give them a ride. So simply by placing yourself correctly and starting yourself off in a good location, you'll already be in a much better position than I was when I tried this last week, and hopefully you'll get work right away. But it's not good enough to just know where to drive, you also have to know when to drive. So that's obviously going to depend a little bit on where you are. If you're driving to and from the airport, let's say, that might be most of the day, but especially in the afternoons as flights are getting in and into the evening as people are arriving and then needing to go to their hotels. If you're doing it downtown, your prime hours might be 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. as people are leaving the bars and need a ride home safely. If you're in a small town, maybe without as much traffic, but you still want to give this a go, I've had a number of very loyal subscribers comment on my videos saying that just around the work hours, maybe a few hours prior to the 9 to 5 rush and then the next few hours after that, those are great times to be driving even if you're in a less populated area, because people that don't have a ride to work will need rides at this point. So if you pick the correct time and the correct place to drive, you're going to be off to an incredible start, and you're going to be almost guaranteed to have a constant stream of work. Now, what do you do when you get that constant stream of work? Well, my third tip is to simply be courteous. And you know what? I hate that I have to say this. Honestly, I hate that I have to make a video about this. Lyft made me watch like a 25-minute video about being respectful, being courteous, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized, you know what? It's important to tell people that because people have forgotten how to be courteous. And just be kind to people. If they want to be talked to, try to have a conversation with them. If they clearly don't want to be talked to, maybe try not having a conversation with them and just listen to your own music. But no matter what you do, don't say anything that's rude. At the end of the day, you're in the customer service business. You might be driving people around, but you're getting paid by those people, and how you treat them is going to directly affect your pay. So if you're having a bad day, just try to set that aside, leave your problems at home, and just go out and drive with a good attitude. Be friendly, be courteous. If people need help or directions, try to be there for them, because again, they are paying you. Yes, Uber is paying you a little bit, but more of your money is probably going to come from tips anyways, so be courteous. And kind of going along with that, this should also not be something that we have to talk about, but we most definitely do. Make sure that you clean up your car. Nobody wants to ride in a dirty car, especially people that, you know, they're coming home from the bars. Sure, maybe they want to ride in a dirty car, but if you're driving home from the airport, the last thing you want to do is when you get off a flight and get into a dirty car, that's just not fun. And I know for a fact that if I was that person and I had a long day traveling and I got picked up and the car was messy and I didn't even want to be in it, I would not be inclined at all to tip well. And just keep that customer mindset whenever you're driving. I mean, think about it from your own perspective. If I was getting this experience, would I want to tip? Would I be pleased with my experience? Would I rate my driver highly? Those kinds of things. And of course, going along with cleaning your car, clean yourself. Make sure you don't smell. I mean, you know, come on, make sure you're clean, make sure you take a shower, put on your deodorant, pop in a piece of gum if you need to as you're driving along. No, I would argue that even worse than getting in a dirty car would be driving around with a dirty person. That's just Come on, I shouldn't even have to say that one, but that one popped up multiple times when I was doing my research, so please, please, please make your car clean and make sure that you're clean. And my fifth tip, honestly, this one was genius, and I hadn't even thought about this until I was reading some articles, but don't be afraid to use the Uber Rider app. Yeah, get the Uber Rider app because it's going to give you information that you won't see in your own driver app. The most helpful of that is you can see where other Uber drivers are located. And that's really, really important because if you're in an area that's just totally oversaturated, let's say you're going to a football game to pick people up from a stadium, and you get there and there's 10 other drivers around you, well, yeah, you're in the right place at the right time, but there's so many other drivers there that you still might not get work. So what can you do? Well, if you opened up the Rider app and you saw, okay, in parking lot B, there's 10 drivers over here, but there's only one driver over in parking lot C, well, head on over to parking lot C, and I can almost guarantee you that by using that information, you will get work substantially faster. So more data, more analytics, that's more helpful tools that can help us on our journey. I thought that one was a really good one. So my fifth tip, use the Rider app to your advantage. And the last one, and this goes for both ride sharing and food delivery, is make sure that you track your miles. Mileage is considered a business expense, and at the end of the day, when you're doing this freelance work, when you're working in the gig economy, you have to treat it like your own business. So by having higher expenses, you might not think that's a good thing, but at the end of the day, that's going to lower your tax bill at the end of the year. Because if you have more expenses, that means in the government's eyes, you're going to take home less money. So by tracking things like your mileage, you can get reimbursed for the gas that you're using on the road and therefore make more money. And lastly, I'm going to give you one little bonus tip here, a little tip number 7. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm posting new side hustle content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It is meant to help you figure out what kind of side hustle you might be interested in, help you find ways that you can make more money on the side. So why don't you just subscribe to the channel? And if you're not going to do that, at the very least, don't forget to like this video. I put a lot of effort into my content. So like the video, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing, kind of what you want to see in the future, all that good stuff. And maybe share this video with a friend. If they're thinking about ways that they could make more money, this would be a great way to introduce them to ride sharing with Uber. So with all that said, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share this video with a friend, do all of it. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.